So hey, I'm here with the amazing Meg Henry. Now Meg was on the USA bobsled team. She did skeleton, insane sport, going 90 miles an hour, face first. It's so incredible.
It is.
And you set the record at Park City, the Olympic record at Park City, and then you set the record at Lake Placid. We were working together at the time. And we're going to get to the fact that she's now an extreme focus coach too, which I'm really excited about what she's doing. But, so she sets the record at Park City. Now they go to Lake Placid, and to make the team, there's only going to take 2 to 3 at the most to travel on the world tour. And so she's right in the right place, but then she had a really bad run. And and we hadn't talked. You know, and I give her nothing but a hard time. She says, well, they speeded it up. They put it a day early, and I didn't want to bother you. Oh, my gosh. Oh, you only wait 4 years for the Olympics.
Right.
Who would, why would I want to bother someone? So anyway, I really gave it to you. And I said, we're doing a game ready, and you're going to go out. We were talking that night, getting you ready. A lot of pressure. Come on. I mean, this is make or break her whole entire career. She's been working for 4 years to get to this point, and it comes down to one race. And so luckily, I had Ben Zobrist at the house at the time. Mm-hmm. He was the MVP for the World Series. And if you don't know Ben, 7th game of the World Series. Cubs haven't won it for 108 years. It was called the Curse of the Cubs. Now it's the 10th inning, the 7th game, final game, 2 outs. And he had already had a phenomenal series. But he hits the double, wins the game. Cubs win the World Series. He's the MVP. Well, he happened to be with me. And I said, Ben, he didn't know I was going to do this. I told him I wanted him to be on this call. And I go, Ben, would you tell Meg? Now, here's the situation. It's the 10th game. the 7th game of the World Series, last final game, 10th inning, 2 outs. What are you thinking when you come to the plate? Do you remember that?
I do.
And it was just so precious. And he basically, in your words, what do you think you took from that?
Well, it was, he was so calm when he was talking, first of all. And you could tell that he was really putting himself back in that mindset. And he told me just how present he was and how focused on himself and controlling what he can control, focusing on the process, and also being grateful for what he was doing. And that was basically the advice he was giving me, but it was a really, really special moment because I definitely wasn't anticipating that. And it was very genuine, very honest advice that I took I took to heart. And
I don't know if I told you this, but after I gave you then the game ready, right?
Yes.
And afterwards I hang up and he goes, that made me really nervous. So it's really funny. You talk about how calm he was, but he goes I got nervous. So it just happens.
Must have built good habits up, right?
Yeah. So we are skiing the next day, Ben and I don't know if it was a text or a phone call. We just get off the chair and you set the freaking Olympic record at Lake Placid, and we were on the top of the mountain. We screamed to the mountains. We just screamed. It was just a celebration for your...
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So then, now we're getting to the part of coaching. She reaches out once she was ending her career and said, hey, I want to be an extreme focus coach. I know the value that it brings, and I want to do that. So tell us your story about that and your extreme focus whole program.
So I had the opportunity to not only be coached by Dave, but also by Shane. So I had a lot of experience with the extreme...
Shane's my son who played professional football, who's an extreme focus coach as well.
Yes.
So go ahead.
So I had a lot of experience in the extreme focus world, and I could see how valuable it was, and also the tools, the love that comes from it, and just Dave has amazing intuition as well. So just to be in his presence and learn from that is something that I really wanted. And he's a great mentor, a great teacher. And I learned a lot through Extreme Focus, had really great connections with other Extreme Focus coaches. And I use some of the principles that we talk about. I work with poise now, which is also, we can get into that another time.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. It was being developed now, and you're a coach within poise. And most extreme focus coaches will get that opportunity if they rise to the level that you've risen to. It's just an opportunity to keep taking mental performance to a whole new area that most people don't even understand or don't even know. You've had a chance to understand it firsthand. So now as a coach, you know, you can take these things with such a deep belief, because you know it goes all the way back. It's down into your belief. Oh, gee, who said that? But it really is. And how do you develop that? And so, and then I know when I started coaching, I didn't have anybody to lay out the land, kind of like, well, the blueprint. How do I do this, and how do I make money doing it? Well, I've been very blessed to do very well in this profession, and we just are going to continue to help those that want to help others. Not only will you get a chance to make a good living doing it, if you're willing to work to do it. You didn't become an Olympic athlete by not working your tail off. So we know that, but it's the same thing. And constant growth, man, the world is yours. And then when you start helping others, that's why I'm so excited, because I get to help people like yourself change people's lives.
Can I add something?
Oh, please do.
So I just want to, we'll backtrack a second. So before the race in Lake Placid, so we had set the intention that, okay, I was more confident in Park City than I was in Lake Placid. And so we set the intention that we were going to set the track record in Park City. And so prior to that game ready, after Ben Zobrist was talking to me, he's like, "You're going to set the track record tomorrow." And I was like, "What?"
You've never done well in Lake Placid, I know.
And so it was mind blowing. But as a coach, you're able to, one, provide that perspective and open that awareness to possibility that an athlete or an executive or whomever may not have. So that's like, there's a lot of power in being able to open an athlete or whomever's eyes and provide that possibility as like, oh yeah, what if I can do that? You know, you just open that possibility. And I really love that about Extreme Focus and everything that we do.
And we say in the program, you know, something's, well, that's impossible. The only reason it's impossible, it hasn't been done, so just go out and do it. Now it's possible. We do that all the time, you know, and that's, I think we have a lot of fun in doing it too, right?
A lot of fun, yeah.
So thank you, Meg. I'm so glad to be with you here in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
And game on.